still think visa free means you can just book a flight, show your American passport, and walk through? That assumption is getting a lot of people stuck at the airport in 2026 because visa free no longer means what most of us think it does. There are countries where Americans can technically enter without a traditional visa but still need government approval before boarding the plane. There are places that require an e-visa, which is an actual visa just applied for online, and there are online forms that look just like visa but aren't. If you mix those up, you can hold one of the world's strongest passports and still get turned away at the gates. I'm Baby and Tropogi. This is exactly the kind of practical confusion we clear up so you don't find out the hard way. So what does visa free actually mean today? The American passport is still very powerful. For a huge number of destinations, you don't need a traditional visa stamped on your passport. You just book a flight and you go. But government wants more information before you arrive. So they created a middle ground. What is an ETA really? An ETA, the electronic travel authorization, is usually not a visa. Think of it as a permission to travel to the border and request entry. It does not guarantee you'll be admitted anyway. The United Kingdom is a clear example. As of February 25, 2026, most US travelers need a UK ETA before traveling. You are still visa exempt, however, you are not exempt from getting that digital permission first. New Zealand has the NZ ETA. Israel has the ETA-IL. Kenya and Seychelles have similar systems. Sri Lanka even calls its own version Tourist Visa ETA, which shows up how messy and wordy this can get. So what's the difference between the ETA and the e-visa? An electronic visa, e-visa, is an actual visa. The E just means you apply electronically instead of through a traditional consulate process. Brazil is a big example. Since April 10, 2025, Americans need a visitor visa for Brazil. You can get it online as an electronic visa, and that is not the same as a simple travel authorization. India, Vietnam, Azerbaijan, and Pakistan also run electronic visa systems. These are real visa requirements that happen to be digital. Now, what about visa on arrival? Visa on arrival means you land, pay a fee, and get the visa at the airport. You didn't need it before boarding, but it is still a visa. Some countries just ask for an online arrival or immigration form. That is often only passenger information or custom declarations. It's not automatically a visa or an ETA. South Korea is a good reminder that timing matters. Americans currently have a temporary KETA exemption that runs through December 31st of 2026. Starting January 1st of 2027, the current guidance says the exemption ends. So what about Europe? Europe's ETIAS system belongs in the same family as an ETA, but it is not fully operational for Americans yet. Timing matters here too. So, is the American passport actually getting weaker? Not in a simple way. It is still extremely powerful, but what is changing is the meaning of easy travel. The old model was visa free equals show up with your passport, while the new model can include an ETA, an electronic registration, an e-visa, a visa on arrival, or extra conditions on length of stay and onward travels. Here is a clean way to remember it. Visa free means you don't need a traditional visa for that trip, but always check the conditions. ETA means you're visa exempt, but you need electronic permissions before you travel. E-visas, on the other hand, mean you actually need a visa and you can get it online. Visa on arrival means you obtain the visa after you land. Arrival or travel forms are often registrations or passenger data, not visas. So the next time someone says Americans can go there visa free, don't assume that means passport plus plane ticket and you're done. It might even mean passport plus ETA, an e-visa, or an online authorization. The passport still opens doors, but more and more, your phone has to knock first. So before your next international trip, don't just ask, do I need a visa? Ask, what exactly do I need to do before I take this trip? If this cleared up the confusion for you, Share it with your friends who still think visa-free means zero paperwork. Now drop a comment if you've been caught by one of these systems in the past. Safe travels, and I'll see you next time. Get out of here.